Were you, would you say you're sexually promiscuous before that?
Yeah, I was sexually promiscuous, but I was a Christian, so I only did anal. No, these are all true stories. I'm like not even capping.
Go all out.
But okay, on my birthday is Memorial Day weekend.
Uh-huh.
On my birthday, I seen them all at Dre's, like this one team.
Okay.
She's so shy. It's so cute,
I know,
baby.
like, shit. And I don't know, I was getting fucked in a hotel room. They all pulled up, and I sucked their
Put
dick.
the mic down.
The whole team.
7.
7 basketball players in a row? Mm-hmm. How was that?
I was fucked up. I didn't fuck any of them though.
She said
What happened to the nuts?
Swallowed.
All of them.
Yeah.
And nothing happened? You didn't have like a weird reaction in your stomach or anything?
No, I passed
that
out.
sounds so fun.
You're almost making it sound like you were too fucked up to be sucking 7 dicks. And also, you were getting fucked by somebody else right before this?
Yeah, they walked in mid me getting fucked.
How did they
from
walk
the back.
in? Where were you?
In the hotel room. So I was fucking like someone that works with the team, and I know that team because I've hooked up with them before.
The whole
But they all
team?
pulled up. No, not the whole team.
Okay.
Like a few of them. They all just pulled up. They knew I was in there, and they were like, "Let's get lit." And they were just sitting around the bed, and they just rotated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yo, they all love you.
So you don't look
Told
back.
you.
Do you look back at this as a positive memory?
Yeah, I don't care. It was lit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I respect
She's
that.
just nervous right now.
No, I mean, she's not that nervous if she immediately told us about sucking
How
7 dicks.
people feel when I say I like to get beat up and like disrespected. I like to get spit on. I like to be called.
But do you,
Adam,
do you
like
have
to
guys
beat-
trying to peg you? Do you ever peg someone?
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kadosh. Yahweh being the Trinity worldly calls God, Bashim in the name of, and Yahweh Shai being the Trinity of our Lord and Savior, who the worldly calls Jesus, and our God Kadosh being the Holy Spirit. Much respect to Akin and Guafim, you brothers and sisters, pushing the work of the Lord in true faith, sincerity. Shalom. You know, man, after watching those videos, man, we can clearly see, man, that is just sad, man, you know. That is just sad, you know, to the point that, you know, people have a fear of even having daughters in this world, man. That's just sad, you know. And this is why I'm going to title this lesson, man, a shameless woman should be counted as a dog, man. You know, this is just sad, man, you know. This is just outright disgusting, you know, and just sad, you know. Women were not like this, you know, 20 years ago, man. 25, 30 years ago, man. You know, now it's the ultimate scale, man. Especially with technology, man. You can have access to, women can make millions off OnlyFans, you know, go on TikTok, you know, be half naked and get 1 million views and ultimately make money, man. You know, we live in a sick world, man. And ultimately, man, you know, this is why, you know, you women are going to catch, you know, massive judgment. And ultimately, you harlots, you know, you thoughts, you know, will not be saved, man. You know? Because ultimately, man, this is getting out of control, man. You know, the first video, she's talking about, man, I was sexually promiscuous. She was like, so she only did anal, man. That's just sad, man. You know? And this is why, man, a shameless woman should be counted as a dog, man. You know? Like, that's just sick, bro. You know? And we live in a society where it's fine, you know, to basically sell your body, man. You know? There's this saying, man, that I heard. It's either a woman becomes a wife or she's a prostitute, man. She can only be 2 things, man. A wife or a prostitute. And we can see these women, man, you know, they're prostitutes, man, nowadays, man. You know? They want to be referred as queens, man. And we go into the word queen, it means prostitute, man. You know, they have that queen of heaven spirit, you know? Like, we live in a world, man, you know, where you know, pussy is a, you know, an idol, man. You know, and that's ultimately sad, man. You know, a brother, you know, someone you know would kill you, you know, before they kill their adultess, you know, wife, man. You know? And ultimately, man, this is just sad, man. You know? Someone's out here busting their ass, you know, working, you know, a 9 to 5, you know, working, you know, mad hours. But then a woman, she posted a picture of her half naked, man. She gets $1 million, man. You know? Women is literally getting praise, you know, to be just being thoughts, man. This is just sad, you know? And ultimately, the Lord, you know, in the time of Jacob's trouble, the Lord's gonna let, niggas ultimately judge these women, man. Meaning that you women will get raped. You women will be, heavily, sold, man. You know? You women are gonna be sold as prostitutes in that day, man, in Jacob's trouble. In Jacob's trouble, you women are gonna be sex slaves, man. Due to your acts, man. You women have to come back to your shamefacedness, man. In the 50s, if a woman was to act like this, a woman to even think she has authority over a man, she would be punished, man. In the ancient days, if a woman was a harlot, man, she would be stoned to death, man. Committing adultery, Like, that is just sad, man. And also, this is why you women are ultimately, crazy, because you have so much, semen inside of you, to the point that there's a study that when a woman has intercourse with a man, the semen basically is still inside of her, meaning that the spirit of the man stays with the woman their entire life. This is why you see certain women, they're bipolar, they're moody, due to all the spirits, they got from the man's semen, man. So this is why women are acting crazy, man. Doing these crazy things, being moody, being bipolar, because ultimately they have so much spirits inside of them, man. Their earth is defiled. When I say earth, meaning their, their vagina, man. It is defiled, man. A woman is not supposed to have, according to the scriptures, more than one penis or more than one rod in her life, man. Unless her husband, dies or something like that, man. But ultimately, a woman's supposed to have one. The woman in the second video talking about, she saw 7 NBA players, man. 7 NBA players. And she was very prideful saying that, man. That is just sad, man. Imagine that being your daughter, man. This is why the earth has to come back in righteous rulership, man. Because ultimately, whose fault is this promoting all this? Esau Edom, man. He allows women to, at young ages, to make millions of dollars joining adult films, man. Basically allowing women to basically, be validated, to basically show off their body, man. When a woman is supposed to be covered according to the scriptures, man. Women talking about, just saying, these very disgusting things, man. Talking about, I like to get spit on, man. This is why, you women are counted as a dog, man. And ultimately, let's get into the scriptures. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 9. And it reads, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech." So ultimately, you women that are at ease, you women right now that are at ease, y'all can make money, just off showing your body and doing all these things, man. You guys have to rise up, man. You careless daughters, man, and give unto the ear of the Lord's speech, man. In verse 10, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall come not," man. So ultimately, man, you women, that are at ease right now, many days and years shall you be troubled, man. In the time of Jacob's trouble, man, you women are really gonna go through it. You women are gonna go through the affliction, because ultimately, a woman is in prosperity in this society right now, man. As we speak, there's a woman making millions of dollars just to show her body off, man, and ultimately be a harlot. Making millions, man. Making millions just be a thought. And the thing is, that she's teaching others too. When little girls, are inspired by these people, man, to be thoughts, man. Twerking, shaking ass, doing all these things, man. Getting effed, getting effed at a young age and all that, man. They want that, man, because ultimately they're inspired, by other harlots, man. This is why you have to be careful if you brothers with kids, or people with kids in general, you have to be careful what your daughters watch, man. So ultimately, many years and days shall you women be troubled, man, For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come, In verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you, make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, man. So ultimately, women have to, make sure you turn, shamefaced, man, because I'm telling you, in that day, if you're not shamefaced, the Lord is going to really afflict you, man. There's going to be, sex trafficking, at a high rate during the time of Jacob trouble. And ultimately, a man is going to be able, because there's going to be no police, man, to out here save you and all that. So ultimately, men are going to just grab you, man, and ultimately do what they want with you, man. Because ultimately, you show yourself, as a, they were basically as a toy, man. So ultimately, these men in that day will play with you, man. You women don't take your body seriously, man. So ultimately, you guys have to become shamefaced, make yourself bare, and ultimately gird your loins, man. Act like a, like a shamefaced woman. Meaning, try to do all these, whoredom acts, just to receive validation, man. That's not the right thing to do, Now, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and 9. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and 9, and it reads, it's luckier. Let's start at verse 8. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids, man. So ultimately, the whoredom of a woman, you know when a woman is a thought, man. When you see her eyes, man. Because ultimately she's going to give you that eye contact like she wants to, take your seed, man. And that's demonic, man. So you brothers have to watch out what women you deal with, man, because ultimately these women, are made to destroy you, man. The scriptures have said, give not their strength to women which destroyeth kings, man. Why do you think, Samson fell? Samson killed plenty of soldiers, but ultimately the woman took him down, man, because ultimately a woman is very manipulative, man. So ultimately you have to be careful, man. And a man should be known by his eyes, man. So ultimately, if you see the whoredom in someone's eyes, stay away from them, man. In verse 10, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in security, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty, man. So ultimately, man, if that daughter be shameless, man, keep her in sterility, man. Meaning, you keep her, make sure she's doing the right thing. You have to humble her, man. Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Verse 11, watch over an impudent eye, so you gotta watch what she's doing. You gotta make sure you know what she's doing. You can't be getting food out here, man. And marvel not if she trespass not against thee, man. So ultimately, you're supposed to watch her actions. And ultimately, if you see, of her actions that she's, being a whore, ultimately, don't be surprised if she trespasses you, meaning if she does you wrong, man. She goes out there and commits adultery against you, man. Because ultimately, you should know by her actions and by her energy, man. In verse 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, man. Meaning she opens her mouth, man. She's out here, getting top to everyone, man. Drinking the water of every man, and drink of every water near her, man. And by every hedge she will sit down and open her quiver against every arrow, man. Meaning, man, she gives the box to everyone, man. She's thirsty. She wants the seed, So ultimately, these things are in the scriptures, man. This how it shows the Bible is a real book, because ultimately the whoredom that's in the world right now, this is in the scriptures, man. There's been harlots since the beginning of time, man. And now, let's jump down to the 22nd verse. This book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, starting at the 22nd verse. and harlot shall be counted as spittle. So ultimately a harlot, a sukkah thought in this world shall be accounted as spittle, man. Meaning that she's of no value, man. She's like spit, man. She's nothing. She's a damn dog. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband, man. So a married woman will be shamefaced, man. She's gonna know what to do, and ultimately she's gonna act like a good wife, man. Ultimately, and that's honor, man. Women back in the ancient days, they lived for honor, man. They knew that they were not supposed to do and commit whoredom, man. So ultimately, a good woman is, a tower against, death to her husband. In verse 23, a wicked woman is given unto a proportion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So ultimately, you have to know there's a cause and effect for everything. So ultimately, a woman, becomes a harlot due to what a man have done. So you wicked niggas out there, the scriptures have said, thou shalt not prostitute thy daughter, because ultimately you guys is what ultimately make, these women turn into prostitutes, man. Because ultimately you guys just, F them, and then you guys don't take care of them. And ultimately this is what causes, women to ultimately be whores, man, because you niggas out there, man. But ultimately, a wicked woman is given unto portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So, in verse 24, a dishonest woman condemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. So a dishonest woman, a woman that lies a lot, she's gonna condemn if she contains shame, man. But an honest woman will reverence her husband, man. In verse 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord, man. So ultimately, a shameless woman, a woman that likes to be a harlot, be a thought in this world, a trot, will be counted as a dog, man. And we know that a female dog is what? A bitch, man. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord, man. So ultimately, a woman that is shamefaced, she wears modest apparel, she covers up, she, will fear the Lord, man, because ultimately she follows the righteous acts according to the scriptures. She's not out here, following the lusts of the world, man, trying to show everybody and do all these things, man. So ultimately, man, a woman that is shameless, that's a harlot, will be counted as a dog. And now, let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 17. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be an harlot in thy city, and thy sons and daughters shall fall by the sword, and the land shall be divided by a line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of this land, of his land. So ultimately, the Lord, is ultimately, judging Israel, man, because the Lord is ultimately afflicting us because we broke a covenant with the Lord, man. And the Lord is furious, meaning that he put these curses upon us, our people, and he put many curses upon our women for our women to be cursed, man. Because ultimately we broke the covenant of the Lord. Israel broke the covenant of the Lord. So ultimately the Lord was furious and he put certain curses on us, man. And one of the curses is that, our women, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women will be harlots in the city. And we can see that, man. Our women, embrace being thoughts, man. If you see heathen women, if you see women in the Middle East, women in Asia, they don't, do all these things, man. They actually know how to treat their husbands, and ultimately they know how to respect their bodies, man. So that's why, these Middle Eastern countries, certain places in Asia, they make sure, they're on these women's ass, man, and ultimately they, make sure, that, this westernized mindset is not put over there, because ultimately they know if their women are exposed to that, then they're gonna be turned into harlots, man. So ultimately the Middle East, these countries, these Middle Eastern countries, they know, man. They know. because ultimately they're under, all the countries that are under Islamic, you know, religion, they tend to make sure their woman is shamefaced, man. But not in America, because America, this westernization has caused women to be harlots, man. So ultimately the Lord, is ultimately judging, Israel by making, our women into harlots, man. And thy sons and daughters shall fall by the sword, and we can see that happening, man. You see Jake getting gunned down in the street and all this, man. And thou shalt die in a polluted land. And we know this polluted land is Babylon, man. People was dying in this polluted land. And Israel should go into captivity, man. And Israel, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans have been into slavery, man. And this is in the scriptures, meaning that the scriptures is living, because ultimately they prophesied the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, that were put in the transatlantic slave trade, man. So ultimately this is historical, So meaning this Bible is true, man, if it can prophesy us going into slavery, man. But now, let's go to the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 13 to close it out. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and 13 to close it out, and it reads, they sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn its incense upon the hills, under oaks and poplars and salakia and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery, man. So ultimately us, breaking the law, ultimately going to the ways of the heathen, basically not following the work of the Lord, ultimately the Lord, cursed us, man. With our daughters, committing whoredom, man. This is why you see, 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds, being thoughts already, because ultimately it's a curse that the Lord put on Israel, man. And your spouses should commit adultery. We see that we live in a society where it's okay to commit adultery, where it's okay to cheat on your man, where it's okay to sleep with 5 other dudes and then come back and kiss your man, and that's off, man. Adultery is off according to the scriptures, because that keeps things, out of order. That just promotes chaos, and ultimately this, whose fault is this? This is ultimately Esau's fault for ultimately pushing out this westernized mentality, man, to the point that people do as thy wilt mentality, man, because Esau has no boundaries, man. Esau is the one who promotes all these polluted things, man, whether it be physically or mentally, man, to the people, man. So ultimately this is why people are at a low state, because ultimately, as the scriptures have said, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. And we can clearly see the people mourn right now, man. It's to the point that, man, you can't even have a daughter in this world, man, without having thoughts of her, ultimately becoming a damn whore in the streets, man. So ultimately, man, the Lord is not dealing with the whoredom of this world, man. And you women ultimately are going to really receive it, man. And ultimately, man, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. So with that, Lord willing, we're edified to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim El Shai, Bashim Rakakadash, Shalom.